Radio Rahim here with everybody knows my favorite guy in boxing, Freddie Roach. I'm going to try to go rapid fire because there's so much we have to talk about. I don't want to stand you up for hours. Let's first of all discuss what happened just this past weekend. Obviously, it's on everybody's mind. It seemed that Chavez couldn't stay in the fight competitively. You know, the 12th round was amazing, but those first 11 rounds were so tough. Can you talk to me about what happened?
Well, you know, I think. Well, honestly, I think our time was a little bit off, and that we didn't actually box enough for the. We need a little more sparring, I think, and a little more gym workouts instead of living room workouts and so forth. I want him to be more on a schedule than training at like sometimes at 12 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were all over the place. We got the work in, but it was kind of scattered. And you know, if your body's not on the schedule, it won't respond as well. When your body's on the schedule, it'll respond better. And I think he just couldn't let his hands go in the early rounds. And you know, after I think it was the 10th round, he took a real bad. He hit a lot of shots. I told him, I said, hey, if you don't show me you can win this fight, I'm going to stop it. And he went out and did a little bit better. And then the last round, I said, we need a knockout to win. Let's go. Let your hands go. I said, all you do is throw punches, exchange with this guy. Because I said, when he throws punches, his head's way up in the air. And he did that, knocked him down. But the thing is, the sad part about it is we could have done that in the 6th round. And then we would have had time to knock this guy out. But the thing is, you know, I feel it's my fault for letting him get away with it. And I told him next time, I said, we're going to be on a schedule. I said, we're going to train at reasonable hours. Even late hours is fine with me as long as it's the same every day. As long as you're on a schedule, your body will respond better to a schedule. So I think we need a little bit more discipline with that, and I think you'll be out the best of him. Because early in the fight, he wasn't letting his hands go because I think he was afraid that he might get tired in the later rounds. And then in the later rounds, you know, it was towards the end, so he knew he had the gas to do it. So I think it was just more of a mental letdown. If we had been better prepared and more confident in that fight and had a better training camp, I think we would have knocked him out like in 6 rounds. And Martinez is definitely beatable, and we showed that in the 12th round. We almost had him, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
This sounds almost like we could be at a press conference for Chavez Martinez too. It sounds like you want that rematch. Is that something that you think is a good thing for Chavez? Would you really want to see Martinez right up next again? Yeah,
because you know we gave that fight away. I mean, honestly, my guy was a bigger, stronger, better fighter in there. I think Martinez, he boxed very well. He throws very good combinations and so forth. But when you press him and put him on the ropes and so forth, he's not so effective.
All right. Now, just about the time that fight happened, some other news came out that Amir Khan has decided to switch trainers. Can you talk to me about how that happened, how you were informed, how this ultimately became a final decision?
Well, I read about it on the internet first, and then a lot of people gave him some slack over that. So then he gave me a call the next day, and you know, we set up this call, and we spoke, and you know, I have no hard feelings. You know, the thing is, he says, you know, he doesn't want to take a back seat to Manny Pacquiao, but now he's going to have to take a back seat to some other fighter because, you know, Virgil Hunter has a fighter that's a very dominant fighter right now, and Amir's going to have to take a back seat to him. So, but you know, I think Virgil's technically a very good trainer with the work he's done with Andre Ward. They look like a good fit. Can somebody change another person? I don't think so. I've been trying to get that Amir to be settled down for a long time now, and with no success. And he likes to exchange a lot, and I don't think that's going to change. But I wish him the best.
Now that there's no connection there's no triangle between you and Pacquiao and Khan, let me ask this question first. There was also rumors that he said he would keep you if you let Chavez and Pacquiao go. Did he actually make that request?
Yes.
Were you? Yeah, he did, right?
Well, it didn't come directly from Amir. It came from Sea Valley, his whatever he is.
Yeah. Were you offended by reading that online? It seemed like Khan may have handled this pretty poorly from a professional and respects.
When they first said it to me, I said, "Yeah, okay." I just because I thought it was a joke. But then they asked me in person one time, and then the time in person I said, "These guys are serious." So I said, that's something I just can't do.
Okay. If Pacquiao now were to fight Khan, he could come up against you, some of your fighters. Do you feel like Khan is beatable by the fighters in your stable? Is that a fight that you'd be comfortable with now?
Well, like I said, I wish you the best, Amir, but stay away from punchers, and my guys are punchers.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about Marquez Pacquiao 4. This fight obviously is nothing new. This is the 4th time in. You were there for the first 3. What are you going to do differently with a Pacquiao who says that he's hungry like his 20s? He's saying from the podium that he's going to be, the guy we haven't seen in a while. How are you going to take advantage of that?
Well, we need that guy, and that's the big plus for me. Scratching the cloth up there, he says, I need a knockout, and I said, that's the best thing I've ever heard. We're both on the same page, and he's never predicted a fight before, and in my life I tried to get him to predict a fight, and there was nothing about there was no God doesn't want me to hurt fighters. There was no not even mention of God in the whole speech, and I think he knows that his focus has to be a lot better in this fight, and him making the decision to have the whole training camp in LA instead of the Philippines, back and forth and flying around the world in 16-hour flights and the altitude training, I think the whole thing is just really, really good for him, and it's very mature and professional of him to make the right choices this early in training camp. So I'm very happy where he's at. I think we're going to have a real good fight. This fight has potential to be great. We know one thing about Marquez, when he goes down, he gets up and fights back, and the first 2 fights we had that happened. The third fight was a little less compelling because I think Manny took him a little bit lightly and just didn't really go after him like he did in the first 2. But I think we bring back the first round and start off there, we'll be in good shape.
Now, Manny says the belts are important, but they're not the most important thing. Obviously, Bradley's holding all the belts. You feel like essentially he stole those belts. Is it important for you that Manny go reclaim his titles?
We need to fight the bigger fights, the ones the fans want to see. The Bradley fight, there's just no audience out there. I mean, for the Bradley fight, and there's an audience for this fight. And Marquez sells tickets and Bradley doesn't. And the thing is, that was the bottom line. And the factor of making this fight is what's the bigger fight. And then with Mayweather on the horizon, possibly because 50 Cent and Manny are talking and there's negotiations going on. It's a good sign to me, because they are talking about the fight. I mean, they're not just being friends and so forth. And we're not going to take him on as our manager for our last 3 fights of our life or something like that. But so the negotiations, they're talking about the Mayweather fight. What else would they be talking about? So that's always a good sign when there's talk. So something might happen. So I hope it happens before it's too late.
Now, that 50 Cent connection is a really big deal. Obviously, the fight everybody's been waiting for it seems like forever. How comfortable are you with Manny working with 50 Cent? And then also, what's the relationship with Manny, Bob Arum, 50 Cent? Is Manny thinking of promoting himself or going beyond Top Rank?
No, Bob told me he can deal with 50. He says he likes them, and so I can talk with him. I can negotiate with him. And Todd's been talking to him. Mike Khan's been talking to him. He actually called Mike Khan the other day when I was with him, so he had to excuse himself to take a call. So they are talking, and they're not talking about what else would they be talking about? Let's face it, they got to be talking about with the Mayweather fights. That's a good sign when there's talk. Something might happen. So hopefully the best two fighters in the world will meet soon.
Now, finally, Fred, you've had 6 incredible years. I believe it's 6, Trainer of the Year awards, the TV show. It's been such phenomenal success on a roll. This year has been tough.
3 losses in a row, and I can't have 4, so we're going to trade our asses off of this one. Pacquiao is going to be in shape, and I hate to lose, but I found out it's part of life, and I hate that, but some controversy, some almost, some this or that, but they are losses, and I do take them personally, and I feel that I'm not doing my job enough, and I have rededicated myself, and I will work harder, and I will work my fighters harder, and maybe I've been a little bit too easy on them, and that's not going to happen.
Being the most decorated trainer in recent history, having won that award 6 times, I feel like I can ask you this. At this point in the year, who do you think is Trainer of the Year?
I thought Virgil Hunter was a great choice for last year because I think he has the best fighter in the world, and he might win it again. Because Ward is a great boxer, very technical. He can switch styles with different opponents and so forth. He's competition actually for Virgil Hunter. I think he might get it. He might get it again.
Thank you, Freddie. Radio Rahim. I'm going to pick Freddie Roach every time. Radio Rahim with the legend, Freddie Roach. Thanks, man. Thanks.